Welcome back to the Backlog Boys podcast at the cinema. As I'm doing this intro, my confidence in doing the accent is slowly dissipating, so I'm going to probably not do it anymore.
What, you don't want to do it anymore?
I'm slowly my confidence is fucked.
You were doing an accent?
You don't want to preserve?
All right, I'll try my dangest if I can do this.
Go for it. Come on, Omar.
From the far reaches of the harbor, we got Sam.
How you doing, Omar?
The last part wasn't even Boston.
It's fine. It's fine. How you doing, Omar? I'm doing all right. I'm gay. I don't know. I panic.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
And then from the other side of the harbor, my Uncle Judy's favorite son, Alex.
Hey, I'm walking here.
Wrong city, you fuck.
You from Providence, you fucking.
This isn't a Commonwealth, you son of a bitch.
What was that thing he kept calling people?
I don't think that might be.
Is that a term?
I think that whole intro just racist shit.
I think so.
I tried an accent. I did it. That's what you wanted.
It works out.
You just used the wrong quote.
Did I say it wrong?
I'm walking here from New York.
Yeah.
That's a New York accent. Then there's me. I'm here too. I'm Omar.
Hey,
No
Omar.
accent.
It's fine.
You're contemplating. What do you, Alex? Are you not?
I think he's contemplating restarting the whole episode.
Not keep that all in.
Yeah.
That's all for Sam in the future to edit this, not us.
It'll be funny.
If you couldn't tell from my epic accent and everyone else's accent, we're talking about The Departed. Martin Scorsese directed himself.
Scorsese.
Skazootite. Is that a Boston way to say that?
Yeah, I think so.
2006. I did not know it was 2006.
No,
I thought it was like 2009 or something.
No, dude, I thought this was like early 2000s.
This
Like
is older, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was 2006.
like
October
2002 or something.
October 2006. Oh, a little too late. But anyways, budget $90 million.
Okay.
Translation to today's 130, which I didn't know that's how much dollars have changed so far. That we already have to do that for 2006.
Yeah, it's kind of ridiculous.
The box office, I was surprised. Well, then if I think about it, it was a successful movie. $291 million.
Then.
For today's standards, $422 million.
Sheesh.
132 for the States and Canada, 159 and everywhere else.
Wow.
Which I was surprised. You I don't know, like maybe like foreigners are like, oh, like this because this is so American. They're like, oh, this is like an American film kind of thing.
I think yeah, it might be like this is emblematic of like a certain region of America.
Or like of us, we're just like, oh, we love animation. So it's like,
Yeah,
that's not gonna be made here. You know what I mean? So it's like we're just watching Japanese movies.
Yeah. Well, also Scorsese is like a
Probably,
well-respected
yeah,
director,
well-known
so
name.
everyone's like, yeah, let's check it out.
So this bad boy here, nominated for 5 Oscars, won 4, which is I thought it'd be nominated for more, to be honest.
Yeah.
The obvious: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay, Best Film Editing, and Best Supporting Actor. Do you know which one it didn't win?
Editing, right?
No, that one won that. It won
Supporting
that.
actor.
Yes,
God.
good job. You know who was nominated?
For supporting actor?
Yeah.
DiCaprio.
No, he's like the main character.
Jack Nicholson?
No, Marky Mark.
Marky
Marky
Mark?
Mark.
was nominated for supporting.
Well, that's why
and
he
then-
didn't win.
And that's the only time he's ever been nominated by himself.
I would have
Okay.
given it to him.
I think he got nominated for The Fighter, but he's like that's like the whole movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was not. That's the only time he's ever been nominated. He lost. I think he lost to. I don't remember his name. Good research I have here, right?
Yeah.
But I do have the nominees for Best Picture. It's kind of a blast of the past.
Sure.
None of these movies I know of, by the way. Babel. I don't know if you heard of that.
No.
Alejandro Gonzalez Inarritu. I don't know if I said that.
Inarritu? Oh,
the
yeah.
Revenant and whatever.
Yeah.
Guy.
He did.
He made this.
Birdman, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He made Babel. This is like a trilogy of movies.
Oh.
Also, I'm like, damn, he was already like Oscar nominated in 2006. I didn't even heard of that guy until like
Until
Birdman.
Yeah.
Here's someone you might know. Letters from Tujima. I hope I said that right. Or Ioma. I'm so.
You mean Iwo Jima?
I'm so sorry. I realized I looked at. I said, look at the two, and I'm like, wait, that's an I.
How did you get that?
He knows what that movie is.
I think my dad watched that movie.
Clint Eastwood made that movie.
Okay.
Yeah, that's probably why my dad watched it.
I kind of want to watch that, to be honest.
I've heard it's good.
Little Miss Sunshine.
I've heard of
sounds
it.
familiar.
Steve Carell.
Yes.
Paul Dano.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I saw like a clip of it. I'm like, kind of want to watch that. Jonathan Dianto and Valerie Veris directed that. It was like a duo.
Oh, I thought you were saying another.
No, sorry. I'm just saying the
I was
director's
like,
with them or
okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
And then The Queen, which is about like the Queen.
Oh, like the Queen of England.
Yeah.
Did the Queen win?
Departed one.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Stefan Freires. I don't know where's his last name. That's the director.
Uh-huh.
The directors are all the same. but except for I don't know if you heard of United '93.
Yes, I have heard about that.
That director was nominated for best director.
Yeah.
But it's Martin Scorsese. He won. That was the first time he's actually won it too.
Really?
He's never won best director in his entire career.
Oh, that makes sense.
And he got nominated like 5 times, and he's not
Till 2006.
Till 2006.
That's kind of wild.
Okay.
Some people are like, oh, maybe it's one of those like lifetime achievement awards kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like yeah, for so many years.
Yeah.
He said that because they asked him about it. He was like, maybe because my first movie I ever made with a plot. So like,
Yeah.
maybe that's why I finally got one or some shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, at least he has humor. I'm interested with Sam. Because he won best screenplay, adapted screenplay, but another movie was nominated that year, and it was one of Sam's favorite movies. I wonder if you think about 2006 movie.
Have I talked like
You've
is it a
showed me
huge movie? But is it?
It's I don't know if it's huge, but I know you love it because you show me clips all
Can
the
you
time.
tell me an actor who's in it?
I feel like if I said the actor, you'll immediately know what the movie
Spider-Man
is.
3.
Is it Eternal Sunshine?
No. It's a comedy.
A comedy?
Yeah,
Ah, dude, I don't know.
Borat.
Oh my
Borat.
god.
I was just serious, but you would have immediately known.
Wait, didn't you say that was adapted screenplay?
Yeah, he does an adapted.
Oh, you're right, because
screenplay.
Borat was a character from his TV show. So I guess that makes sense.
Yeah, that's what I looked it up and I saw the specifics. I'm like, oh, I guess it technically.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah, but that also was nominated.
Borat should-
That's like the only. I think they got nominated for that. I think.
I think. Listen,
no.
if you put Borat next to The Departed, obviously The Departed wins.
Yeah.
Right, but I just think Borat.
It's
Like,
so-
it
it's
should
so
have won
different.
comedy. If it didn't win comedy, it
I don't
should
think
have
there
won
were
that.
comedy. Like that wasn't an option.
Oh,
At least back in the
yeah,
2006.
2006. Yeah.
I don't know about now. So, one last ultimate factoid.
Okay.
Actually, I have a goofy one real quick. I forgot about when I was looking up the Oscars. Someone performed that night,
Okay.
and they said their full legal name, and I was like, "Who the fuck is this?" I learned Beyonce's full name. And I'm going to tell you the Beyonce's full
What's
name.
her full name?
I thought it was so interesting. Beyonce Giselle Knowles Carter.
Nice.
That's her full name. For some reason on Wikipedia, it was like Beyonce Knowles, and I'm like, who? Who? I was like, Beyonce? Why did you just write Beyonce?
Yeah.
You sick freaks. Anyways, that was the most important fact. This other one's not that important though. So this movie, I don't know if either of you guys know this. This movie is actually an American remake of a Chinese movie called, and I hope I pronounce. It's not a Chinese name, but I can't read. Infernal Affairs. That movie came out 2002.
Really?
Yes, and I read the script of it. I didn't watch the movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's like almost the exact same movie. Obviously, the characters are different.
Just replace the Irish with Chinese.
Like yeah, basically what
Yeah.
it is. Instead of like the mob or whatever,
Yeah.
this is like they're the triad and stuff like that. The ending's different, and some of the characters are different. I'll probably talk that in spoiler because I don't want to spoil
Okay.
certain stuff or whatever.
Yeah.
But the character who plays Leonardo DiCaprio's character
Mhm.
in this version of the movie. Do you guys watch the Ten Rings movie?
The what?
Shao King and what the fuck's it called?
Shang-Chi?
Shang-Chi
The
and the
Marvel
Ten Rings.
movie?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sorry. I was like Shao Kahn. and I was
Yeah,
like, wait a
yeah.
minute, isn't that Mortal
Kotal
Kombat?
Kong.
Whatever
Kombat.
the fuck. Ten Rings. You guys watch that movie?
No, I
Yeah.
haven't.
You have?
Yeah.
The dad.
Oh, I like that
actor
dude.
plays it. I didn't mean to. I just like hovered over to his face, and I'm like, he looks familiar. And I'm like, what has he been in? And it's like the Ten Rings. He's the dad. I was like, whoa, that's so crazy. Yeah, like that. And that movie is kind of the same with this movie, where like they're all big name actors in Hong Kong. And that movie was like, I guess the Hong Kong has their own like Oscars basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It like destroyed. I think it was like nominated for 14. It won like 7.
Jesus.
Like the directors were like, they were just like, oh, this is their like fucking magnum opus. Like this is the biggest fucking film they
I
made.
kind of want to
to
watch that now.
I'm actually interested. I did watch, and it's a trilogy.
Mhm.
There are more movies, which I kind of will go on to like kind of the differences.
This one was like left like you can't make a sequel out of it.
Yeah. But some of the other like stuff about it is a little bit more spoilers, since like some of the actor stuff and whatever.
Mhm.
Yeah.
But how this, who bought this film for the film rights of this? Brad Pitt. Yes, right. So he has a company called Plan B Entertainment.
Okay.
They make like they're a production company. They make movies. They make a lot of movies. I looked it up, like Troy, Kick Ass, Super Bad, 12 Years a Slave, like a bunch of like different movies or whatever. Yeah, right. I was making a face like,
Yeah, you're
what?
saying like the same production company that made Superbad and Kick-Ass also
Made, like,
funded 12 Years a Slave.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's interesting, right? And obviously, it's Martin Scorsese, the director of it, and it's obviously based on Boston as opposed to China. And instead of like the triad, and obviously it's based off James Whitey Bulger.
Bulger, I think.
That's Jack Nicholson's character. That's who he's based off of. Like it's like
Okay.
a real life person.
Oh.
yeah, I've heard of
But
it.
it's obviously just with that story instead, or with his character. So obviously, as I mentioned, Brad Pitt was involved. he was involved in the movie as well.
He wanted to star in it, didn't he?
Well, no, the other way around.
Oh.
It was gonna be Leo and him, gonna be the main characters. But then he was like, it should be someone younger, which is funny because he's like, he wasn't that old back then either.
Yeah, he wasn't.
So he's already like someone younger.
Yeah.
And they wanted someone more Boston than Matt Damon. Obviously, he's from Boston or whatever. So they got him to replace him as the second main character, I guess. But enough fiff-faff and Boston other words that I don't know. Those are not Boston words either.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this movie.
Whoa.
I think I'm the only one that's watched it, right? None of you guys have watched it before.
I haven't
What?
seen
Right?
it.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, no,
there's a
I've,
movie,
I've
the
never
movie.
seen this
This is
before.
Yeah, Infernal Affairs. I'm talking about Infernal Affairs. This is
yeah, I
the
was-
Hong Kong movie.
I thought you were like, you guys didn't see the movie, right? Like,
Why did you guys watch it? I was the only one, right? No, I've seen this before.
okay.
I saw this years ago. This was my first Martin Scorsese. I think we might have talked about it in Raging Bull.
Maybe.
This is my first Martin Scorsese. I'll never say that man's name correctly without actually
Scorsese.
reading it correctly.
Yeah.
I'm illiterate. But anyways, I did watch this beforehand, so I'll leave it more to you guys since initial reaction is probably different as opposed to me who knew the plot going in. So I'll let you guys have the floor about this movie.
Okay, who wants to go first?
I'll let you take the floor, Alex.
Okay. Well, this is like one of the movies that's been on my backlog, my personal backlog since
2006.
whoever knows how long. Yeah, no, I've been wanting to watch this movie for a while now, and it was so weird seeing all these like actors that I watch in movies now who are now like
Bigger.
no, they're like 50. They're in their 50s.
Oh, well, yeah, they're old as
and
fuck
they're
now.
really young in this.
They're like babies.
The psychiatrist. She's in
yes.
Bates Motel, which is a show that one of the shows that I've seen all the way through at least once.
You actually watched it? I kind of want to watch that show.
Psycho's my favorite horror film, if you want to call it a horror film. But yeah, she's in that. And I did not recognize her at first
Really?
because she looks so different. Because she's much younger.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah,
I
Even though she looks kind of older.
She does, yeah.
she does. But like, she looks way younger than she does in this show.
Sheesh.
I don't know. I recognized her face, like I had seen her before, and it's probably from like promotional stuff for Bates Motel.
Her daughter was in American Horror Story. She looks
Everyone's daughter was in that.
Yeah,
show.
yeah, no, she's in the season 3 though.
I
Which
don't know.
one?
I don't think I got that far. But anyways, yeah, I recognized her face, but I couldn't put it like a finger on it. I'm like, this isn't Gwyneth Paltrow or like some other woman I've seen before.
That's the only woman you know.
Yeah, exactly. Like some other blonde actress that I've seen before. I can't think of any right off the top of my dome. But yeah, like it was him and seeing Leonardo DiCaprio especially.
Yeah, young
Like,
Leo DiCaprio.
He looks so frail and small in this movie, and I was like, "There's no way this is Leo." Like,
that's only something you'll find with men because I feel like women seen him in Titanic.
yeah, that's true. Yeah, I can't. I totally forgot that it's him.
Yeah, I don't. I think that's a trait that it's more common with men because we see him in more movies now where he's like not playing the pretty boy.
Yeah, he's like the older guy.
Yeah.
He's definitely older. Yeah.
The last movie
Yeah.
I saw him in was in Django, and he's a much more imposing guy in that movie.
Yeah.
I think it might have been Revenant for me.
Oh,
Maybe.
wow.
Nah, that was probably, but it's still Revenant. He's like a bigger guy.
I think I saw
for
that
sure.
new Netflix one, or I started it at least.
But as funny as I'm like, you guys have the floor. There was a question I wanted to ask.
Oh yeah.
I said with Sam earlier. I want you guys. How many actors do you guys recognize in this movie? Because I recognize a lot of them, and I'm
A
not sure if
lot
you guys
of
knew
them.
who all of them were.
A lot of them, but not all. Of
Let's
them.
go. Let's go through the list real quick. On top of my head, Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah.
plays
Yeah.
like the main lead. Matt Damon plays the second main lead.
Marky Mark
Marky Mark is in it. Jack Nicholson.
and Uncle Ben.
Yes, Uncle Ben is in this.
See,
I knew he was gonna know he was in it.
I recognized his face, but I couldn't remember who it was until I was watching it with Diego, and Diego's like, "That's Uncle Ben," and I'm
That's
like,
so funny.
Yeah.
That's how both of you guys saw it.
Like as I was watching this, I'm like, this is my own headcanon now. This is what Uncle Ben was doing before Amazing Spider-Man.
And you want to know? You want to know how freaked out I was when he said that? How slow I am. I was like, wait, that's not Uncle Ben from the Sam Raimi ones. What are you talking about? Because I totally forgot about the Amazing Spider-Man for a bit.
Hey.
It'd be bad if you were like, he's not even in the most Spider-Man movies, because in the newer ones, he's not existing in that yet. So
Yeah,
you're just
yeah.
like, that's the only Spider-Man I've seen.
I only know that one. But yeah, seeing him in it.
You know his name, by the way?
Who, the guy?
He's Martin Sheen's dad. Oh, his name is Martin Sheen.
There
She's
you go. I
Charlie
made a
Sheen's
face for
dad.
him. He's
Oh,
Charlie
that's-
Sheen's dad.
that's Martin
And there's
Sheen?
Martin
Yeah,
Sheen.
I was debating whether saying
Yeah, you
it's
said
Uncle
Martin
Ben.
Sheen, and I was
know,
like,
but like last night I was like, I'm either gonna say it's Charlie Sheen's dad or it's
Or
Uncle
Martin
Ben.
Now that you say that, I totally see Emilio Estevez in that guy. Like, I've seen a couple Emilio Estevez movies. So and I know he's Martin Sheen's son. So I make the connection. That is his dad.
I see him and I see a lot of Charlie Sheen.
Yeah.
I don't
I see a lot.
I see Charlie Sheen.
Yeah, especially in Apocalypse Now, where he's younger. He's like that's like movies like 78 or something or 79.
Yeah.
He's still old, but he looks exactly like Charlie Sheen. But he's in Alec Baldwin.
Oh yeah, that was
Alec
totally
Baldwin.
weird.
That was interesting when I saw him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know their actors name. I didn't want to look it up because I don't want to keep making lists.
That's fine.
But Leo Caprio's cousin,
Okay.
who helps him later on, I recognize. He's in a lot. He's one of those guys who's in a lot of things, but he's not very like that.
He's like the
big guy.
background guy.
Yeah.
And I think, well, there is one more, and I'm interested. There is another Wahlberg in this movie.
Stop.
There are 2 Wahlbergs in this
You
movie.
talking about the owner and creator of the Wahlburgers establishment?
I don't think that's that one. I don't know. I already forgot his name.
Let's go ask him.
But there,
He lives up the street.
you guys, I doubt. So you guys didn't know that.
No, I didn't know
either.
Wahlberg.
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't until I think I looked up the list.
Yeah.
And then it said Wahlberg. I think he's Ronnie Wahlberg.
Okay.
He is I believe he was the FBI agent when they're in the meeting with Matt Damon's character. They're like, we have this special agent who
Yeah.
doesn't do anything. He barely talks.
He's not in
That's
the movie.
Wahlberg's bro. Yeah, but he's in it though.
Yeah, I know. I know what you
That's
mean.
the other one. I remember when I looked at it, I was like, whoa.
Whoa.
But yes, to go back to what you're talking about, Leo. I think it's interesting because when I see him, it's like, he's obviously more frail, and we're gonna connect this to Sam's favorite movie, Boondock Saints.
Oh, no.
Like he could now I'm serious though. Like if you put him in that movie, he fits.
He would have killed in that movie.
No, I meant like actor, but I'm like if you put his character, the way he looks, throw him in a Boondock Saints. You would believe he fits in that world too, because that's also Boston. They're both Boston.
Yeah, I kept thinking about
that's
that
how
movie.
good. If I saw the Boondock Saints guy anywhere, they'd be whatever.
Yeah.
But he can also fit in this other movie that's not even connected at all. Like Matt Damon, he's too clean in this movie, which I guess is the point.
I mean,
Yeah.
But Leo looks like a street rat in Boston. He looks perfect for it. I think and it's so weird because again I think we know him from more of a bigger guy, and maybe people who've seen his old older movies.
Oh, yeah,
when he's younger and has
like a pretty
Titanic.
boy,
and,
yeah.
I saw him in Wolf of Wall Street. He's shirtless.
that movie's wild.
He's shirtless a lot in that movie. He definitely has a bigger build, and
he's like orange.
Yeah, and there's one scene in this one where he's shirtless, and I'm like, no, dude is skinny. What the fuck?
He works out, and I'm expecting Tenet, the dude doing pull ups and she's all ripped. He's doing weird push up things, and I'm like, he doesn't look like he's gaining any muscle.
Yeah,
his arms still look like twigs.
Yeah.
He could just snap in a second, and they wouldn't care.
It was definitely a contrast though from what he looked like in Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah, he's just got this extremely scrappy energy to him.
Yeah, yeah, which is
in
perfect.
the performance and in the way he looks, it's perfect for this particular role.
I did forget to bring this up.
Oh yeah,
Leo. The Oscar part. He was a busy boy. He was nominated for an Oscar for not this movie, for a different movie.
What?
Blood Diamond.
Oh,
Blood Diamond came out the same year.
I've heard that one's good.
And it was pretty good. He was the main character in that one. He was nominated for Best Actor
Gotcha.
for Blood Diamond.
He didn't win.
He didn't win. I think it was Forrest Whitaker. He won that year. But I'm interested. Sorry, talking about the Oscar one more time. If like someone's been nominated, the same actor for two different movies of the same category,
They just win twice.
What would he do if he was nominated also for this movie? And like, did that work? I wonder if that's like a thing, like a rule.
For this movie, if anything, he would be listed as a supporting actor or something.
Who's the main though? You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess the main would be Matt Damon since we start with him.
I think it's like co-leads.
Maybe that's why they probably weren't nominated either. Because like Leo in Blood Diamond, he's obviously the main character in that one as well. So maybe that's why. But like, I just thought it was interesting. Like he's in two big movies, and this happened to be the same year.
Yeah.
He's kind of like the main guy in both of them. So I wonder if like if he got nominated twice, there's like also Leo and also Leo.
If anything, they'll just, since it's a voting system, they'll just take whichever one got the most votes. So if Blood Diamond got 50 and then Departed got 75, they just put Departed instead. But I wanted to talk about Matt Damon real quick because I have seen him only in the Firstborn movie, and then he's in Oceans, right?
He is in Oceans.
Yeah, he's in all of them. He's in a lot of movies.
Yeah, so I'm kind of familiar with like the clean cut action version of him from the Bourne movies, and then in Oceans, he's just like the thief guy, right?
He's like Brad Pitt's number 2, right? I mean, not Brad Pitt, George Clooney. Sorry,
I feel like he's more of a comic relief in that one.
Is he?
Kinda?
Wait, is Brad Pitt also in the movie?
I think so.
Yeah, because it's George Clooney and then Brad Pitt, and then Matt Damon's kind of he's the third guy. Yeah, you're right.
Matt Damon is like the young guy.
Yeah.
He's like the pickpocket kind of.
He's like the youth we're teaching the youth guy.
Off the top of my head, I think that's the only other like Matt Damon movies I've seen.
Oh,
you
for
ever, you ever
sure.
seen Elysium?
No.
What other movies is in? Obviously, he's in Good Will Hunting.
What?
Oh yeah.
Good Will Hunt. Yes. What do you mean? What?
No.
Good Will
What?
Good Will Hunting.
That's the
I don't know what that is.
The one with
Robin Williams.
yeah,
right?
Robin Williams.
Yeah, I never saw that one.
Him and Ben Affleck. They won an Oscar for that because they wrote this. They wrote it.
Wait. That's Matt Damon?
Yeah.
Oh, I always thought that was Leo for some reason.
No. Matt Damon is that guy.
Oh.
He's like the genius. And
Yeah. No, I mean, I know the premise.
that's Matt Damon.
I still haven't seen that movie, but like I know the premise of it, kind of. But for some reason, my brain just went, "That's Leo, dude." Like you're.
I think because like he's so young.
I think so.
So
Yeah.
like he kind of looks like a regular guy.
I really thought like his first big role was Oceans or the Bourne movies.
Good Will Hunting, I think, was like, and that was like they wrote that shit. They won Oscars for that.
Yeah.
The more recent one is Ford and Ferrari.
Oh, he's
Ford
in
versus
that?
Ferrari. Yeah, he's Ford. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding.
Mr. Ford.
That movie's also really good.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
And he's good in that. He's in another movie, Downsizing, Jason Bourne.
I've heard of that, but moving away, yeah,
he's in a
kind
lot of
like,
things.
He's kind of sporadically in a bunch of different kinds of movies, but he's not any like a big mainstream guy. I would say as much as Leo. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
I mean,
Leo is a bigger actor.
I feel
than
like
that
at the
now.
time.
But I think I don't agree that you say he's not a big name. I think people know whom. Like if a movie can be sold with Matt Damon.
I didn't hear
alone.
about Matt Damon until The Martian.
There we go. I totally
Yeah.
forgot he was in that movie.
I've heard it. Well, to be fair, I've heard him in a lot of things. Maybe that's why as well.
Yeah.
So, like, there's also like I don't know. Maybe
I think
for some
The
reason-
Martian was his like breakout role.
Yeah.
See, again, like Good Will Hunting, like that's like that came out like in the '90s.
The thing is, I think it's like
Like, but you
I think
guys,
it's
just
a
because you guys
generational
haven't
thing.
heard of that.
I think it's like a lapsed thing.
I love you
because-
say that. I'm 1 year older than you guys.
Yeah, I know.
It's not that big of a
Well,
gap.
I don't mean to say generational. It's like a lapsed thing. Like I feel like I'm not as in tune with the thing. I need you to understand. For like between ages like 5 or 6 up until like I was 17, I thought Mark Wahlberg and Matt Damon were interchangeable. Like I could not tell the difference between them.
One
like,
has a third nipple.
because I don't know if that's true. Anyways, for some reason I like couldn't remember their faces, so I just would look at one of them and then go, "Is that Mark or is that Matt?" Like I don't know why. Like because at that point I hadn't seen any of their movies. Like I think the closest one I had seen was. Isn't Mark Wahlberg in The Nice Guys? There's not The Nice Guys, The Other Guys.
Yes, the other guy.
He's in The Other
That
Guys.
movie's
It's like one of the comedic cops or one of the asshole
Colin
cops or
Farrell.
whatever.
Not Colin Farrell. Will
Will
Ferrell.
Yeah.
And him are the main characters.
I'd love to see Colin Farrell in that kind of movie. But
That'd be fun.
anyways, so that was the only Mark Wahlberg movie I had seen for like 20 years. So like I'm really lapsed with this kind
I
of
just
stuff.
don't think you just don't watch movies.
I don't watch a lot of movies.
He probably
that's also
he probably has seen Mark Wahlberg, but didn't recognize
Yeah, he just
him.
doesn't know who he was.
Like I need you to understand. Like off
Maybe you saw his brothers and you were like, "Is that Mark?"
yeah. Off the pod, I've been talking to Alex and Omar about this movie called Born at East LA, which is like some stupid 90s thing. My touchstones are totally like way different than everyone else's. I'm aware of that. Let's get back to the movie anyway. Sorry, we went on a tangent. Let's just talk about the overall like feeling of how we feel about the story though. Like I was really invested throughout most of the movie. There were some parts that I feel like were kind of like,
Dragging.
they could have been cut. Like
This movie is like 2 hours 30.
I don't understand why this movie went editing because like there are some things that I'm like, I didn't need to see that, or that seems a little long. I don't know why you did that. You know?
Yeah, I don't see this movie. I think of editing,
Yeah.
and not in a bad way. Like if it wanted editing, that's usually because like it did something great.
Yeah.
But this was like it was just normal.
Well, there's just some
Yeah.
questionable shots too. Like I'm just like, why'd you do that? Like at the very beginning, there's that scene where like the camera is like closed in on somebody.
That scene,
and
I'm
then
glad we
zooms
talked
out.
about. I'm glad you brought that up. We'll talk about the spoilers. I think that scene is great actually.
Oh,
Because I the first time I watched it, I don't even remember that scene.
from the beginning, or that happens
Both-
twice.
Yeah, twice exactly.
I don't like the second. Like,
I like it.
I like
It
the
works.
second time. I don't like the first time.
It works both ways.
Mhm.
I think, and it makes sense story wise. I gotta talk about it because of spoilers.
Yeah.
But I remember the first time I watched the movie, I don't even remember that.
Yeah.
I
didn't
don't
know that
remember
existed.
it.
Alex doesn't remember.
I was
he doesn't
making
remember
chicken
shit.
during that.
If anything, it's probably one of those things that like makes more sense after you've seen the movie.
No, because when I watched it the first time, I was also like, "What the heck is this?" Yeah. And then a second time, when I did the second time, I'm like, "Oh, this makes more sense now."
That's what I'm saying though. As a first time watcher, I was like, that was weird. Like, why'd you do that?
No, I'm saying like the second time.
Yeah, yeah,
it
it
happened
makes-
in the movie.
I'm saying, oh yeah. I'm understanding the second
like
time.
that didn't because I don't remember even in the first one at all.
Yeah.
So when that second time it happened, I'm like, "Oh, this makes a lot of sense."
Yeah.
Like, I didn't need to watch it 2 times to understand that.
No. I'm talking about the one at the beginning, though.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that
forgot about the one. That
connects to the second one.
I forgot that it happened twice. Like, it's one of those things where I didn't connect them as similar things.
I just think you guys don't watch movies correctly.
Hold on. Walk me through this, because I don't remember this.
We'll talk about this in spoilers.
Sure.
Because I think when I explain it,
Anyway,
there's no point in explaining it too
I
fast.
have some questionable editing things, but at the same time, I like the Boondock Saints, and everyone hated those editing ploys. So I'm not the guy to talk to about that kind of thing. Alex, what do you think about the plot, since you've written scripts before?
It's different seeing Martin Scorsese like take on like a cop perspective, because usually his movies are
gangster, like
gangster,
mafia,
yeah,
a boxer.
This one's kind of like half and half, and I really like that. I think he captured the cop part well. You know, like not from experience that I know, because I'm not a cop, but like from like what I've seen in other stuff, like that's how the cops work.
Yeah. I love how you're like, is that how the movies the cops are the same as this movie cop?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Well,
I'm not making fun of it. I just think it's funny.
He got a lot of obvious inspiration from
Yeah.
cop movies. Yeah.
And I mean, it's something different from him, and I liked it.
Yeah, it was. The dual narrative was actually really interesting. Again, first time watching it, I had no idea that was the point of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, I went in and I was like, ooh.
I really liked how the two main characters, like, their lives are kind of like switched. Like, one's living the life one wants to live.
Yes.
The other one's living the one that guy's being forced to live.
Yeah.
I did like that.
It was really interesting. Yeah. There's a lot of cool stuff going on in this movie.
I thought it was interesting that like both Matt and Leo don't like talk to each other until like basically the end of the movie.
Yeah, that's
like
right.
they meet in the beginning for like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
And then they never interact technically
Do
ever
they-
again until the end of the movie.
Do they talk in the beginning?
They don't talk. They meet to each
Okay.
other.
They're like in the same room.
Yes. They're in the same room for like 2
I know that,
seconds.
but I didn't.
They didn't talk though. They just walk past.
So
each
they
other.
never talked.
But they
till
never
the
talked until like the end, like later half
Yeah,
of
that's
the movie. or
cool.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like the Jack Nicholson's one of the main characters as well, and like he's kind of like the one that talks to both of them.
Yeah.
Like the one, not like for each other, but like he's like the one that all the characters interact with him. He's kind of like, I guess you can think about, he kind of is the main character.
Yeah.
Because everyone talks to him most of the time.
Like he grounds everyone else to that story.
It's like The Simpsons, where they're like, when he's not on the screen, we're always asking, where is he? What is he doing? And why isn't he on the screen right now? Like, he's always talk about Jack Nicholson's character like almost the entire movie,
Pretty
which
much.
makes sense,
Yeah.
obviously. But I remember the first time I watched it, I just saw the cover, which is just Leo, Matt, and Jack Nicholson. And I was like, well, I've never seen a movie with Matt Damon and Leonardo DiCaprio in it, and I didn't know who Jack Nicholson was at the time. So I was just like, except for the Joker, I think. So I was just like, oh, this looks interesting. And then I watched it, I'm like, well, this is the plot. This is so interesting. And I've never even seen these type of movies or whatever.
Yeah.
I was like blown away. The second time, obviously, I know the plot, so kind of like a lot of movies, a lot of tension, obviously, because you like there's a lot of like times where like it's one of those like mystery, not for the specific character, not for you, it's an audience, it's the characters themselves, it's a mystery for them. But like me now knowing the outcome of the whole movie, at the very beginning, it makes me, it does obviously make it less interesting because I already know what's going to happen, and I do think it's not as good as I remember it, but that's not me saying it's a bad. This movie's great. It's probably number 2 of all the movies we've seen, I think, in my opinion. But it is definitely
out there.
not as good as I remembered it being, which is not a bad thing.
It's second to American Ultra.
I think it's Boondocks.
No.
Raging Bull. Sorry, Raging Bull's number 1.
yeah.
But I do. Leo, he's just an incredible fucking actor. I don't know. Like it is obviously like the whole. I always say like the Oscar, it doesn't matter technically, but like the fact he only won once for The Revenant, like that's crazy.
I'm mad it took this long.
Because like this movie's great. Obviously, the other movies he's just as incredible. Matt Damon, I'm not saying he's bad. He's obviously great, but like because his Leo's in it, it's just unfair for him.
Yeah.
Because he's obviously really good in this movie too. And Jack is just Jack, like he's just being himself or whatever. And I think Marky Mark, I'm never gonna say his full name. I think he's incredible in this.
He is.
He's perfect for what he has to be in this movie.
Sure.
I honestly, everyone in this movie is perfect. Like me, like I never like. When I watch a movie, a lot of times you're like, that's Alec Baldwin, that's Marky Mark, whatever. But after a while, I'm just like, that's him, that's that guy. Like, I was sold that these are like these characters. I wouldn't see them as actors, but there's so many in them. You'd think that all the time.
Yeah.
But for me, at least, like Alec Baldwin also perfect. He's barely in the movie, to be honest.
Yeah.
He may be in it for like 20 minutes in this. What's that one guy?
Well, it's even minor characters too. Like
Like the guy from Blackish.
I don't know. Oh yes,
Kangaroo Jack, that guy.
Yeah.
Agent Cody or whatever that
I think so.
He's called. Yeah, he's in it for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
but he's in it.
That guy. There's the Scottish guy in the bar who's part of Nicholson's gang. You know who I'm talking about?
Which one?
No, Frenchie's the other guy.
No, I forget his name, but he's the Scottish guy who can't spell. So yeah, the Scottish guy is such a memorable character. Like everyone is like a believable, memorable character, except for the counselor, the psychologist. Her character, I forgot she was in this movie until she because she disappears for like 30, 40 minutes or something, and then she comes back, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is a plot. Like, it's I mean, like, not to discredit her or anything.
Yeah, it's not her fault.
There's so much going on in this story that I feel like that subplot kind of got buried.
They needed some eye candy.
Even then, like, she's wearing like business suits.
I'm gonna question that scene later on in the spoiler section.
And there's like Matt Damon's like cop friend who's like there from the beginning as well.
Yeah,
that guy. He's in a lot of like small roles as well. Like I recognize him when I saw him immediately as well. But like there's like there's a lot of characters like they don't even need that much screen time. And I think, ironically enough, that's one of the negatives I have in the movie. They'll probably talk more about spoilers. Yeah. So a lot of these characters, can't even talk about them because a lot of it's spoilers. But I do think there's too much going on. And I'm not saying make the movie longer, but there is...
I don't know. I'm just going to say... Sorry. I was almost like raising my hand to like make a point. I was just going to say, I kind of agree. I agree and disagree when you say make it longer, because I've been on this whole stint where it's like, just make this a mini series, man. Like,
this is also 2006. So
exactly. Obviously, they wouldn't do that, but like, this is such a good story that I'm like, ooh, I'd love to get little bite-sized hour bits of this.
Make it like a part. Make a part 2,
or like how the Hong Kong people did. They did a 3 trilogy movie. But to be fair, I'll talk about that more spoilers. But anyways, I do think there's too much in this. And there are some characters that don't get enough shine. I'm not even talking about this. I'm talking about the main characters. I'm talking more about Matt Damon, to be honest. I think he gets the small stick or whatever the phrase.
The short end.
The short end of the stick. Sorry. I'm from Boston. Sorry. I think he gets the short end of the stick of all the 3 main characters, because I think I don't know time wise how much screen time he has compared to everyone else, but I feel like his character, he needs more screen time for him. Yeah. For his character to work, especially with how the movie plays out. Like, I think he needed more screen time as opposed to Leo.
For sure. Definitely towards the second half.
Yes, especially the second half. I think the first half was perfect, and the second half, it went too much Leo, not enough Matt Damon.
Yeah.
I think I needed more build up to what he does in the leading up to the third act.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure.
I think that also was
that came out out of nowhere.
I half agree with that. Like, I kind of got mixed. I watched it. I mean, like thinking about
it. They showed it.
It's still like it's a big.
Yeah, I wanted more lead up to it.
Yeah, it would have been nice.
Yeah, so I think we all agree Matt Damon got the short end here.
Yeah,
for sure.
But I'm not complaining that Leo got a lot of screen time because he's just a great actor.
He's a great character. He's such an interesting character to follow.
You're just like, you want to follow him, but you also like, you don't want to follow Matt, but like because of his character or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like you needed more Matt for it to work or whatever.
Yeah.
So I assume he doesn't know anything about the movie, right? So you didn't know about like to twist stuff or whatever.
Oh,
when you were talking about Leo, I remembered something.
You have like an flashback?
I walked into this movie thinking it was a completely other Leo DiCaprio movie. Because I have like a couple of them in my backlog, and I don't know why, but like I had Shutter Island in my mind, so I'm like, oh, this is gonna be intense, and then it turned out it's this
other kind of intense, anxiety-inducing movie.
So I came in like not even like what's it called?
Like mentally prepared?
No, like what's it called when you go in? I didn't like. I went to it not just blind. Like
you were swerved.
Yeah,
you were as the movie called. You were blindsided.
Yes.
There was a moment really early on where there's like a fight scene, and the way it was shot reminded me a lot of Tarantino. Like, there was music blaring and there's this really visceral action going on, and it made me think for a second. I'm like, oh, maybe this would be interesting if Tarantino directed it instead of Scorsese, because not only would it be shorter and better, but I think I'm curious to see like if he ever did, because he kind of did like a dual like storyline thing. Well, he did a triple storyline with
Pulp Fiction.
But I just kept thinking about that, and then like halfway through, I just stopped thinking about that because it was like, this is such an engaging movie that I'm not wishing this was something else.
Yeah.
So
I do think the music, there's a certain scene where a certain song plays, and I was very not in it. I was like, this is weird.
It reminded me of I think I know what they're talking about. It's towards the end, right?
It's definitely the third act.
Okay.
Where they're all driving.
Yes.
And they play like a really hard metal, like Irish swing.
If anything, it made me think of Boondock Saints. Like that's something that Boondock Saints would have done.
Yeah, exactly. So when they did that, Alex, you know what scene we're talking
Yeah,
about?
I know.
Okay, because you made a face. Sometimes I never know what you know. But like, there's a scene that they have that song, and I was like, this is kind of ruining the mood.
It was really weird.
I kind of liked it because there's a phone call during that scene, and you're on the other side. You don't hear the music, so it's like they were blasting it on their car right there.
I do. That is good, but I'm saying that song.
The song choice.
The song.
Especially when that scene was gonna go to, especially later.
Yeah,
that's such a weird.
Like
I think that same song's in the beginning.
A similar song. If
I think it's exactly.
I think that's
the
song plays during the fight scene he was talking about.
It might be.
I know that song plays twice because I had subtitles on, and I read this. It's the exact same. It's just a weird. It's like, I had a fake leg because I'm a pirate or something. I just remember that lyric, and I'm like, this is a weird song.
That song definitely like dates the movie for me because it's like I associate. I've heard that song before somewhere.
Boondocks.
No, but like it's like an early 2000s or late 90s song, and I'm like, oh yeah, this is that era. I mean, the flip phones and like all this. It's a very dated movie, but it doesn't feel bad. Like,
you say dated like this came out like in 2019. Like this is a 2006 movie, so obviously 2006 is gonna be in it.
I'm aware.
Like you don't call like Terminator dated because it has like old shit either. You know what I mean? Like
that's true. But I'm saying like I guess like with technology, but just the emphasis on flip phones and like these. I just kept gushing over the sounds of them hanging up, like like,
the click, like
clearly Sam doesn't know what a burner phone is.
I know what a burner phone is, but I'm saying like it just made me wish for that kind of thing because like with modern phones, I mean you just hang up by like pressing the screen and there's not like a satisfying click to it.
Yeah, but if you're doing illegal shit, you're not gonna give someone a $800 phone.
What are you talking about?
People still use flip phones specifically for it. Sam knows nothing.
I don't know anything about crime.
Me and Alex were in the streets.
You guys are in the trenches.
Yeah, we're in the Boston Harbor all the time. I know I was gonna stop doing that.
Here, let's put a bow on this and just say, Alex, would you watch this movie with your dad?
Oh yeah, Dad, if you hear this, let me know when you want to watch it.
Again,
I'll come over.
Just for the movie.
Yeah, so
it's a really good movie.
Alex recommends it.
A hard recommend.
I would say recommend.
Yeah, like there's no reason not to watch this movie.
It's the best Scorsese movie we've seen together.
100%. Only two. There's not many options.
Well, I mean, there's a pretty wide gap for me between these two movies, personally.
Yes.
I think it's like this is number 2. I think of all the movies we've seen.
I don't know actually. I have to take a look at that list.
If Goodfellas wasn't my first Scorsese movie, I think this one would be my favorite.
And this one was my first.
Yeah,
and I haven't seen Goodfellas, so maybe we want to watch Goodfellas.
I think just because the Goodfellas was like a really good movie, and it was my first Scorsese movie, it makes it automatically number 1. But I did like this one a little better.
I think you guys are overestimating the idea that your first Scorsese movie is your best, your favorite.
Yours was Raging Bull.
My first was Raging Bull, and I hated that one. So. I don't know.
That's why I added the good part.
Yeah, that's true.
Good Scorsese movie.
This is my first good Scorsese movie, but yeah, maybe we can start easing into the spoiler bit. How do you feel about that?
No. Oh, got him,
bitch.
Boston. All right, now that all the weed we were smoking.
This movie sucked.
Yeah, dude, now that we're actually high and we say a real feeling. I hate Leo.
This is our bit now. Like the moment we come back from spoilers, just this opinion I had, totally opposite.
I lied. So we can see if people watched the first half.
Exactly.
They'll react. They say they hated it. It's like, nah, motherfucker, if you watch the first half, you know exactly what we said about the movie. That's how you get those guys.
So you got some spoiler trivia for us?
That's not crazy. I just So the Infernal Affairs director and actor, they asked them about this movie.
Yeah.
So obviously this came out like 2006. Now they came out 2002. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. So the co-directors, 2 directors of the movie, they asked him. He's like, of course, I think the version I made is better, but the Hollywood version is pretty good too. Scorsese made the Hollywood version more attuned to American culture. Andy Lau, which I believe he's the little Matt Damon character. I think that's the actor. The Departed was too long, and the fellows of Hollywood had to combine all 3 Infernal Affair movies together.
Is that what they did?
No.
Oh.
He did say, though, that it had great golden quotes, but it had too much swearing. He rated it 8 out of 10. The Hollywood remake is worth a view, though he didn't like, and I did mention earlier, that the psychiatrist character is technically 2 characters in the Infernal Affair movies.
Really?
Matt Damon's character and Leo character had different girlfriends.
Oh, like
instead of the same one.
I think Matt Damon's character was a psychiatrist, and then Leo's character was just a girl. Like he just had a girlfriend.
Okay.
But the difference is, because I read the script, it's almost the exact same. The only difference is Matt Damon's character doesn't die in the Infernal Affairs movies.
Yeah.
Infernal Affairs, sorry. He doesn't die. But like it's one of those things where like he's so like he hates his like decisions that he's made.
Yeah.
Because that movie's more about like that. There's like a Buddhist like they're like reincarnation stuff or whatever. Like
Yeah.
the 7 rings, I think that's called. Like one of them is about like you're stuck there forever, like purgatory for us kind of thing.
Sure.
And that movie's kind of about that, where like he's stuck there and like forever feeling guilty for all the shit he did, but he doesn't die. Everyone else does die though.
Okay.
Like all the characters in this movie die the same way they die too.
That's where they get the
except
name.
for yes. So like and then I think the sequels are about a lot of that too.
Okay.
Where like him and like the guilt he has or whatever, and like the probably hate he has for himself, but he
Yeah.
gets to live, and like I think he lives until all 3 of them.
I think if this movie was made now, I think they would have actually done the trilogy idea, because part of me feels like this movie just kind of it goes on for so long, and I'm like, when is it gonna end? And then it just kind of like very quickly like wraps it up in a bow. And it's like, all right, that's it.
If they do that, it would be changed even more because they would have to find a way to bring DiCaprio back.
Yeah.
Before we probably go more to spoilers, they did ask Martin Scorsese like, "Oh, would you make a sequel?" He was like, "Well, it's kind of hard when everyone's dead. Like all the main characters are dead."
Pretty much,
and then he was also like, "Even if I did, I kind of don't really want it.
Did he-
I have no inspiration to like."
Do you
write
know
a sequel.
if he ever said why he killed Matt Damon's character?
No, I think that's just how he wanted it. I think
he wanted to
it
wrap
wasn't
it
like
up.
he planned a sequel, but because they asked
Yeah.
him, "Would you?" and he was like, "Well, they're all dead, so no."
Yeah.
And he's like, he was like, agile and have
It was a one
motivation.
and done for him.
Yeah, but I think I mentioned earlier, like, so Matt Damon, his character, I think for that ending, especially when he does with Jack Nicholson's character, I think he needed a lot more screen time.
For sure.
Like, I think they cut him off a little too much. Like, sometimes you just see him like do like such small things, and I'm like, this doesn't matter.
Yeah, you see some little inner turmoil from him towards
yes.
the end. Like, he does a lot more shady shit towards that second half,
Yeah.
that third act of the movie.
That's all you see him as do. Like, just do shady,
Yeah, you don't see him
and
really.
then like climax.
Yeah.
And I wonder if there's like a version of the script where they did include that, but then they're like, this is like a 4-hour movie, guys. Like,
I just think this is what he wanted to do. Like,
Yeah.
more. I think he's at that. He's probably, especially 2006. It's probably just like, I'm just going to make what I want.
okay.
I doubt people were like, I
Yeah.
doubt Brad Pitt's like,
Wait.
no, make this fucking movie different, bro.
With a runtime of 2 hours and 30 minutes,
I
I'm
think-
pretty sure he got what he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is pretty exact. I don't know. Again, like I mentioned earlier with the editing, there's like that sex scene towards the middle, and I'm like, oh, it's ending. Like they're gonna kiss on the stovetop, and that's it.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like,
No,
oh no,
cut to
they're,
bed.
they're taking off their shirts. Okay, that's it, right? And then I kept going, and I'm like,
Grope
okay.
ass.
Like
Kiss down stomach, and I was like, oh no, Raging Bull 2.0.
yeah, like it goes on for so long that I thought there was gonna be a twist or something, like Matt Damon shows up or something.
What the
I
fuck?
thought that too.
Because I was like, why am I seeing this?
Yeah.
You know, other than they made out, they had a little thing going on. But there was that, and then there's that scene that's randomly thrown in there towards the third act. That's like, it's Jack Nicholson's character at the opera. With, two girls next to him, and then they're just like,
They just start
I
doing
think they're
coke.
doing stuff, and then he just has a bunch of coke, throws it on her, and then like, I don't know.
Hey, you want your coke? There it is.
Yeah,
You ain't gonna move until you feel numb, baby.
yeah, and then it just goes, and then it goes to the
And
next scene.
then it goes to his face, and he's like, whoa.
Yeah. It is so,
I love that place.
I mean, it's kind of funny, but at the same
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
it's like I
It's unnecessary.
I don't really feel like I learned anything about
Yeah.
this
This
character.
doesn't change his
I already knew
character.
he was deranged. I already knew he was
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
weird. But
I think let's kind of go to the beginning of the movie real quick.
Sure.
Like, I gotta go through it. I think in the beginning, I'm not gonna fact check it. I'm pretty sure all that shit he said was racist. Like his opening monologue.
Oh, yeah.
he says a lot of words. I didn't
Oh,
even want
yeah,
to pretend to say them. There's
was-
one
don't
obvious
know.
racist.
It was
Yes.
racist.
There's one obvious racist word, which again I don't even know why it's even in the movie because that didn't do anything. I'm not saying like, oh man, Martin Scorsese is racist. I'm just saying like that is unnecessary.
it's one of those things that's like he's evil. Like
Yeah.
you gotta know he's a bad guy now.
Do you remember in the Boondock Saints when that
Yeah.
happened? It's
Yeah,
the
that-
same type of character.
Yeah, I guess. But and that's so creepy when he meets young Matt Damon. He goes like that one guy's like, oh, give me the money, and then he's like, oh, is your daughter? Oh, did you have her period yet?
my God.
And I'm like, yo,
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's
that's
really
creepy.
weird.
And then like I'm just so confused. Not confused. I'm just so interested like why Matt Damon. like his character specific. He's just a kid, and he's just like, "Hey, little boy, I know your dad." He knows everyone's dad. I don't even, he knows everyone's fucking person. Why just specifically Matt Damon? He just like. You like ham and cheese? I don't know why I'm making him a smoker.
You like comic books?
You like comic books? He's a Wolverine comic book, and then
get him 4 milk cartons.
And he's like, get on my garage later.
Why is he Beetlejuice?
I don't know, man. I'm just doing voices.
I just want to see Beetlejuice.
But like, I just thought like, oh, like, why Matt Damon?
Yeah.
I think
he's got lucky.
Well, you find at the end that you find out that he has other people in there. So
Yeah.
I feel like he just
happens to be one.
He just it's the one we're following.
Because like Matt Damon's character. I watched the first time. I was like, "This is so interesting," because it's like, it's kind of like Stockholm syndrome
for sure.
Where he just like he kind of took care of him, but he's always like looking for his like affirmation or whatever. Affirmation. Is that
Yeah.
Yeah, like he's always just like calling him like, "Hey, Dad," like that. Obviously,
it's a cover thing.
Yeah, but like he'd be like always saying like I made it, Dad.
Yeah,
like,
I bet you that was his idea too.
Yeah.
It's
like, I'll call you Dad. He's like, oh.
Actually, totally. I was just thinking about why you mentioned why would he go to this kid for that. He mentions later on in the movie that when he was younger and he had like a rat situation, he just killed everybody in his crew and restarted.
Oh, so you just like, I need more kids. Yeah,
it's entirely possible. He needs more people.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, kids.
Well, he was probably grooming them. Not for a sexual purpose.
It was grooming them to be enforcers.
To be like his henchmen.
But it's entirely possible that's
like
true.
Oh yeah, because didn't he like plant the idea of being a cop into his head? Isn't that like the whole point of the first shot?
I think it was just like him being like,
he's like, you could be anything. You could be a cop.
I think it was just him being like, you can be anything. But then now he's like, you can be a cop because you're so smart. Like you can be in the high end.
Yeah.
And you can be the spy for me.
Yeah, because he was saying like, when you're holding a gun, there's no difference.
I love that quote. Where you're just like a criminal or a cop.
Yeah.
When you get hold of the gun, with a gun in their face, like it doesn't matter who's holding the gun.
Yeah.
I thought that was a good quote.
So.
But and I think you show Leo's character. It's so interesting. They show both of them training, even though they kind of do happen at the same time. But ironically enough, they don't intersect at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because like, and this is why it's weird where they have I forgot. I don't even know his character's name. The black guy.
Yeah.
Like he's training with Leo.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I thought that's like this one of the issue where like I have where like he's only talks to Leo. Well, obviously they probably talk more, but like in the movie you only see him talk for like 10 seconds. They make one joke to each other.
Yeah.
And then you never see them again together.
Yeah.
And you don't barely see that guy in general throughout the whole movie. But then he's kind of supposed to be like the ending. That ending doesn't work well. Where he's like, I know who you are, but you
know who I am.
Yeah, and it's like that doesn't. I don't think that worked because another thing I have a complaint with the movie, like the movie's bad at telling you how much time has passed. They just randomly tell you you've been doing this for 1 year, and like one scene here, like, do you like your girlfriend? Like 10 minutes later, he's like, we're getting married, and I'm like, what? How much time has passed here? Like you don't know how much time has passed. Obviously, you can assume maybe 2 years. And I assume that character hasn't seen Leo in like 2 years, and again, they only talked for a little bit. The school was only a couple months, they said, so it's not that much time
for sure.
And now he's like, yeah, I 100% trust you, dude. It's like, do you? Why? Why would you trust him that much?
Yeah,
he was hesitating.
But he didn't even do anything.
I think they established early on that he is a character that does hesitate because there's that scene where during the interrogation he grabs that character's phone and then he doesn't realize it talks. He's like, "What'd you get my phone?" And he's like, "I needed a phone. You didn't do it."
Yeah, you didn't do it. Right. So I think
it definitely needs more build up. Maybe if there was a longer opening or something.
Or maybe his character like didn't exist.
Yeah, if it was
like,
just some
if he didn't exist, nothing would change, right?
Yeah, or if they just made Digman that guy instead of making Digman the double crosser at the end or whatever.
Probably was
make Digman the guy who trusts him because it's like, well, I know you.
In Infernal Affairs, I think it is only one guy.
Yeah,
I think he's like Big B or something. That's what I read at least. But like, I think that's what it is. I think he's just that one guy.
Yeah.
So I think he just takes Leo in the Infernal Affairs version. Like that scene just goes until he gets killed. Sure. There is no like, hey buddy, help me out here or whatever. Like I think that would have been better. You just didn't need his character at all.
Yeah, I can see Mark's character doing that, but like because he's the one that kills Matt Damon at the end. I feel like they had to throw him somewhere till that scene came up.
I think the first time I watched it, I didn't understand that scene, but now I watch it again, I understand why he's the one that got to do it because obviously he got kicked out, and then I assume Leo's tapes probably mentioned Mark Wahlberg's character, like you go do it, and obviously the only one who would do it is because he was gone for so long, so he has no issue. Honestly, he had all like the fucking like cover ups, so no one even know he did it anyways.
Yeah.
But like I remember the first time I was like, I thought like, oh, maybe because Mark is the only character alive. Like we know as the audience. But now story wise, it makes sense why he's the guy.
I feel like he's other than Martin Sheen's character, he's the only other one that
Leo.
No, the only other one that Leo trusts.
Yeah. I think that scene when Leo's with Martin Sheen and Mark is so good
Oh, like when they're under the bridge?
No, like the beginning, like when he's like, why do you want to do this or whatever.
For
sure. I remember the first time, even like I barely understood the second time watching. I was like, why are they like going so hard at him?
Yeah.
And then the next, they cut away, they come back, he's like, we need you, Leo. You're the best one at this. I'm like, you were the shit on him like 5 seconds ago.
It is so weird.
Now I understand it's because he has to get used to that. Because it's exactly what Jack Nicholson did.
Yeah.
He just berated, and he literally fucking like almost broke his arm to like tell him the truth. So like, imagine if Marky Mark didn't do that. I love like if he didn't do that, it's like, how are you gonna do that? And like, you would probably break over there and like not like say the truth, but you probably get mad and be like, oh, we got him.
Yeah.
So he's kind of like preparing him, like just berating his family. I do a random undertone, like they're making fun of like priests.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, it's a Catholic, whatever. But like, I just thought it's like anything Catholics, they're dick suckers, little boy suckers, and I'm like, all right, so I'm like, I get it, but like,
they are.
Excuse me. Alex, how would you know?
Did you not know?
Alex, did you know? Do you know? How do you know?
I've not been reading the news.
Yeah.
I don't read. I read the Bible. I just thought that weird undertone of like the church or whatever. That was so random to me.
It was really weird.
And then the nun is like, "Oh yeah, fuck that nun before she took the vows." I'm like, "You're quiet."
What was that picture, by the way? I didn't get a good look at it.
I didn't see. It looked like someone sucking dick.
It was up there for like a second.
It looked like a priest sucking a kid's dick. I think.
Awesome.
Which is wild that he drew that.
Okay.
But
I just love that when he's talking to the priest about that. He's like, I know you're trying to make yourself seem like God made you that way, but you can't be doing that kind of stuff. Like, and then they're like, you're not bigger than God. And
I think the other priest was like, oh, pride falls before this or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And he was like, shut the fuck up. Shut up, you losers.
You freaking dork.
To go back, go back to that Leo and Martin Sheen scene. Honestly, all those scenes are great. The quote I love from that scene where he's like, we work in deception, but not self-deception. Because Leo's character is like, and throughout the whole, that's why like his character, like I wish they showed more Matt Damon doing this, where you can see his character just slowly getting fucked, like in the heads, like as the time goes on. Which I get a weird issue I have with like they don't tell time. Because he's the one that mentions like I've been here for a year, and I'm like, oh really? It's been a year?
Yeah,
like,
it does not feel like that.
You can see how mentally fucked.
Yeah, but like that could have been 3 months. That could have been like
it could have been there a week. And it's like I can't do this.
Yeah, like we don't know. And I'm not saying like put every scene like this has been this day. Like just say like this has been.
Have some sort of like, or even subtly like this the movie
weather
starts in
change.
spring and then like
the weather felt like all the same. The weather not the whole time.
Yeah.
I mean, at the beginning when he's like getting out of prison, he has a clean shaven face, and then he gets that little scruff. I feel like they
like that's their way to tell.
Yeah,
he shaved a little.
Let him grow his facial hair, shave it every once in a while, just show that time's passing.
Yeah, I guess that's his way of doing it. But
I just think like that's not a bad thing. I'm just like it would make the movie better.
Yeah,
if you told us how much time has passed. Because a lot of times I'm like, when is this? Like, is this like a day ago this happened? Because certain things happen. I'm like, I would believe that was just yesterday.
Yeah,
because there's so much shit happens all the time in this fucking world.
Hey, I just want to go on a small side tangent. You know that meme that's like, oh, you know, whenever I'm watching anime, my parents walk into the room. There's some weird shit on screen. My mom did walk in on that scene where Jack Nicholson and Matt Damon are in the sex.
Oh my god!
So like she walks in and it's not even like they're in the theater watching it. It was just the shot where it was just the movie. So my mom's like, "What are you watching? What are you?" And it's like, "Mom, I'm gonna rewind it. Like
this is The Departed.
See what I'm watching."
Please. I'll fast forward a little bit. Oh no, Jack Nicholson's cock. No,
that was weird too. Please, I was like, Mom, please don't think both of your boy sons are watching pornography together. Like, fully clothed, just separate, like
2 feet difference between us.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god.
So that was fun, but
to go back to the movie,
I thought that was actually gonna go into Matt Damon was there watching it. I didn't realize it was a drop off. I thought it was Matt Damon watching it because he was having erectile dysfunction problems.
So that I didn't think that. I was just confused. Like, who's here?
Yeah,
they keep showing people like with their heads down. I'm like, so who's here and who's not here?
Yeah,
I could tell Jack Nicholson out because he's the way you could tell he's just fucking around. But I'm interested you brought that up. I don't know if like how fact this is or whatever. Who brought this up? But someone was like, oh, Jack Nicholson's character, Matt Damon's character are homosexual, not for each other, just in general. And someone said that, but there was just no evidence. They just said that. Like, yeah, I don't know if it was like a critic or like.
I think it might be like
someone in the movie.
Yeah, somebody implying that. Yeah.
For me, like, because there was just one sentence, and that was just that one sentence. But me thinking back in the movie, there's that scene where his girl at the time, his girlfriend. She's just like, they don't flat out say it, but you can kind of assume it's that his wang didn't go all the way up.
Yeah,
Oh,
she's
dude,
like,
they bring it up a lot.
I said it once. Was that once?
No, and then when he's with when they're playing golf, and he's just like, "Oh yeah, my dude."
Overtime.
Yeah.
And maybe that like he's just gay and he just can't. He doesn't like women that way.
It might be, yeah.
I think it's the stress getting to him, man.
I'm just saying, like, I just remember that line.
Also,
I'm just like, me thinking about it, that's not so far fetched.
I'm pretty sure that's just set up to like tell you that her kid's Leo DiCaprio.
Yeah, I think that's the whole point.
Yeah.
Of that.
And I think Jack knows the character as well. Where like me looking back, all of like his scenes where he's like gotta fuck a girl, it's always him being like he's already aggressive. Like his adrenaline's going high. Because like I think after he fucks up Leo, he's just like, "Come on, baby, I gotta show you."
I got something to show you.
And like when she yells at him like later on the phone, he's like, "Yeah." And then like when he fucks those two girls, he's on coke, so it's like, he's just out of his fucking mind. Probably.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to say they're gay. I'm just trying to show pride on Flash Day of Pride Month. This isn't gonna come out in Pride, but I'm trying to show out for a little bit for them.
Yeah,
that's just a small thing because you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, well, it was just such an interesting, like weird side.
I just thought that was
thing.
just strange, and I was just like, maybe they are gay.
Maybe
that
they
would work.
Yeah,
maybe that's why he's just like, I like you because you're gay, and I'm like, oh, you're gonna be me in the future. Honestly, he probably didn't want that. He probably was gonna kill them.
Do you want to be me? And he's like, yeah, Dad.
That's a good scene. Like, when he's just like, you want to be me? He's like, I could be you. I don't want to be though.
Yeah.
And I would say the same thing. I'm like, why the fuck would I want to do your job, dog? That sounds like the worst job to have.
Yeah, it's really a lot, and I'm kind of confused with the whole Mark Wahlberg thing. I've actually heard jokes before. Like I didn't realize that I knew something about The Departed when I watched it because I've heard jokes about that twist ending with Mark Wahlberg at the end, and I feel like I've seen that clip somewhere before because I was like, I don't understand that.
Yeah.
But seeing it now, it's even like, oh yeah, like this is kind of weird. Like it just seems kind of unnecessary. Again, I towards that whole end of the movie, I was like, this is going a little longer than I feel like it should. It could have ended at any point and it would have been okay. Like, if it ended at the funeral, it would have been okay.
Yeah.
If it ended after the girlfriend refused to talk to Matt Damon, I would have been okay. Like, there's multiple scenes that would have happened, but it just kept going and going, and then there's this weird twist at the end, and then it just ends there, and it's like, okay.
I think, to go on your point, me watching it back, I'm like, oh, this is where they all die, right? And I'm like, oh, this is where they all die. I'm like, how much time is left? And I look, I'm like, oh my god, I'm almost done, and everyone's still alive. I'm like, damn, they just like blast. They just kill everyone in like 5 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
And I was just like, Jesus Christ. And then like at the end, I'm like, well, I already knew Matt Damon was gonna die, so I was just like, from that, when everyone dies to him dying, I'm just like, all right,
so
like,
where is
like,
it?
like move on. Like, this is not like, I feel like the movie shouldn't have ended with Matt Damon dying. Honestly,
I don't think so.
I don't think he should have been killed. I don't think.
I kind of wanted him to die.
No, yeah,
end.
I obviously want him to die.
Yeah,
but like, I think the way that movie went, like, I guess his character's getting like that kind of like his own not medicine, but like the self-fulfilling prophecy thing, because his whole character is him being paranoid.
Yeah.
At the point where he like
At the,
betrays Jack Nicholson.
At the end, he's just like finally comes to terms with it. He's like, oh, go for it.
He's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then dies or whatever.
Yeah.
And just gets shot in the head.
I would have liked him to die when he was paranoid.
Like a peak paranoid.
Yeah.
I just when that dog didn't like him either.
Yeah.
Doggy. And the dog's like, what the fuck? And the lady's like, the fuck? And I'm like, damn.
That scene when they're all dying reminded. Have you seen that Office meme where it's like everyone pointing
With the
finger guns
finger-
at each
Oh,
other?
yeah.
It reminded me of that because at the end of the episode they all like bang and they all just
Die.
fall
Kill
down.
each other, yeah.
I remember the first time I watched that scene. How'd you guys feel when you saw that scene?
When
I
Leo
remember
got
my
shot,
first time.
me and Diego both went, oh shit, like
Yeah.
audibly. Like I was not expecting that at all.
I remember.
I got kind of mad.
Yeah, because it's just so like.
Yeah.
Like, just that he just gets shot.
And then earlier in the movie, they establish he tells the girlfriend, "Oh, if I ever die, you better you do whatever this thing is." And then they never go back to that.
I think it's just like alluded to.
To what?
What I don't know. That Marky Mark is the one that killed.
Yeah.
So that's what it was then.
Because what was in that envelope was probably saying the only other person who knows everything that happened to me is Marky Mark.
Okay.
Because he knows everyone. Even they told him Marky Mark's not dead. He just got Leo Vapid, so he still works there.
Yeah.
So he just tell that Matt Damon is the rat.
Yeah.
And Marky Mark will obviously gonna kill him because he doesn't give a fuck about anything.
Yeah.
So that's why I imagine the letter was just like, give this to Marky Mark. Marky Mark's gonna do what he has to. He'll know what to do.
Because she would wait. Did he know that they were together?
Who?
Did Leo know that the psychiatrist was dating Matt Damon?
I
don't know.
No, I know he did not
Okay.
know.
No.
He just knew that he just with.
Oh, that letter probably said, "Give this to
Marky Mark.
Yeah, okay.
Just give it to Marky Mark because that's all she needs to know.
Because she would know where he lives.
Yeah, and she obviously trusted her the most.
Yeah.
Which is what he brings up at the end. Like he's the only person I trust.
Mhm.
So that's why Marky Mark's the one that got him.
Yeah,
because he's the only one that would anyways.
Okay.
See, I think this is just a lesson in that I don't have media literacy. Like, because I was like, oh, was Marky Mark also a spy? Because they throw in so many spies at the end.
No.
It's like Jack Nicholson is FBI. Fucking, what's his name? Matt Damon's friend is also
he's a
part of
spy.
the gang. And then, like, I don't know. There's just so much of it at the
think-
end that I just assumed, like, oh, Marky Mark is also, for some reason, a spy.
He's the closest we have to like a moral character.
Yeah.
He's the
I
only
think.
like, which is funny because Alec Baldwin's character says
Yeah.
that he's a nice guy.
Yeah.
And he probably is like him and
Yeah.
Martin Sheen. Goddamn, Martin Sheen are probably like the nicest people.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the whole movie, which is saying something that Marky Mark's character is like. His character, all he does is just say profanities
Yeah.
in Boston accents.
Mhm.
I did think me watching it twice. I'm like, there were so many times Leo was fucked, but I think he kind of got saved by plot armor.
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Like there were some times where I'm like, oh, like
You know what? That's fine, man.
I think the weirdest one was the guy who told him the wrong address.
Well, you know why
He was a
He was
cop.
okay with it. He was also a cop.
Oh, he was. I thought they were
Yeah.
just saying.
no, he was.
because then later on there's a scene where they dig up, the police find his body and they say that he was an
Yeah.
undercover police officer.
I thought they were saying that he was Leo's character.
No.
Because they were just like, we need someone to like.
No. He
So that was also
a
he
cop.
actually
'Cause he was saying,
Yeah.
he was like, do you know why I didn't tell
I
them?
was just a bit like, I don't know, and he dies, and I was like, so what was the reason?
I think he was saying like he was asking himself, why didn't I do it? Why didn't I tell them? Because he was just in there for so long that he's just like he didn't know what to do. He's like, am I a mob man now? Am I still a cop?
Yeah,
I feel like he was
maybe.
contradicting himself.
I thought his character was just like he just also hated this, and he would just like do it, like just fucking,
Fuck
yeah,
it,
like
I
I'm dead, so like can you just kill everyone too or something?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, no,
I thought that was one of the things I was like that was weird.
Yeah, no, I thought he was a cop
Oh
also.
no, I think they straight up say he was a cop.
No, I took that as like he was the fall guy.
Yeah.
Because there's so many like
No, because it was
fall people in this all the time. They're
Exactly.
constantly just like this guy. They're like, all right, yeah. And they're like, yeah, we got it.
But it
And
was,
they're like, no, it's kidding. This is this other guy instead.
It was
Yeah.
Matt Damon's character that found the file where he was a cop. I'm pretty sure he would have snitched. So
Yeah.
I don't know that maybe that was a little fumbled. Maybe I'm just stupid.
Yeah, again,
There's also that.
we're not expert fucking analyzers.
Yeah.
So.
Speaking of expert analysis, I just remember I do want to bring something because I hate when we do this.
Yeah.
The zoom out, the zoom out. the
Oh,
zoom in.
yeah.
So I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
The way I interpreted it.
sure.
Because that scene, the first time it's shot, it's only Matt zoomed in, and then it zooms out. And the next time you see that scene, it's zoomed out, zoomed in. I see that as it's Matt Damon is in, and everyone accepts him, so he's zoomed out, so he sees everything.
Yeah.
And that scene is at the most paranoid because no one likes him anymore because his whole job at that time is to find it, like the rat.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And obviously he knows it, but that means who the fuck's gonna want to talk to the dude whose whole job right now is to investigate you?
Yeah.
So he is alone again.
Okay.
He's kind of like, that's why he's zoomed in, and it's like, cause he's literally alone in that scene, and then like in the story he's alone because even Jack Nicholson's kind of like tired of his shit. He's always like, just do your fucking job, dude. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things where like they don't even show his friends ever again. Like he's like, we're the best team ever. I formed this team because we're the best. And then they do one thing together, and then they're never seen again with him again until the end of the movie. But like his boys who he sends to do the other shit are not his boys that we know already.
Yeah.
Which is a weird decision to do, I think, in my opinion. It would have been perfect if his like friend character is the guy he said go look for the guy.
track him down.
Yeah, and then you'd be like, okay, like, this makes more sense because they're working together. Blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
Maybe because he was the rat as well. So like
Yeah.
maybe that he. Maybe I don't even that doesn't make sense to me. Martin Sheen, his death is like pretty depressing, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But
Because I forgot how he died. I just knew I was like I didn't remember he died, but I'm like he's gonna die. There's no way he lives. But his death is fucked.
yeah.
Like being thrown off well not off the roof, but like multiple floors, like 4 floors.
While
out.
trying to save Leo.
Leo, that's so sad. Like
Yeah.
because like that's like Leo's like dad at that point.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it's also the only guy who could really get him out of the bind. Like, because he was like, yeah, I'll get you
And
out.
it was like right
The
as
second
was
he
going
said that,
to.
I'm like he dies here.
Yeah.
Like that's too good of a thing for Leo to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys noticed this. I had to rewind. This is the only time I rewind in the whole movie. So they do have a shootout, right? And the van drives away. The van drives over Martin Sheen's body.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, I did.
It ran over it because I
Oh.
watched it and I noticed that the tracks they were going on is where Martin Sheen's body was, but I didn't look at it fast enough. So I rewind it again. They show, it's so weird though. They show him getting run over, but his body looks the exact same. I'm pretty sure if you run a body like that, I think it'd be fucked up. It would
get flattened, yeah.
Yeah, but like it just looks like they just like boop.
Well, it just goes to show that wasn't a real body. That was not Martin Sheen on the
No,
ground.
I'm saying like I think it might have been like, oh shit, the way the body landed and the way the car going is gonna run over him. So we'll just like we'll just make it look like it moved, but we just won't even touch it.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Maybe.
Which is ironic because it won best editing.
Yeah, again.
But it just like it looked like it was like post edited. We'll move the car a little bit up. But then we'll keep going because Marcy's body does not move.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure if you run over a body, it's gonna move and it's gonna not look exactly the same.
Yeah, but in general, like despite all the issues with the editing that we have, I still think it's a solid movie.
I do think like the girlfriend, we talked about the girlfriend, we didn't even talk about her probably enough, and like her character, me watching the second time, I'm like, I don't like her character a lot. Like, I think she sucks at her job.
Yeah.
She sucks at it because, like, when she's with Leo, she just fails
immediately
the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, he beats her in, like, a psychiatrist off that they're doing for some reason.
Yeah.
And he succeeds. And I was like, you suck.
Yeah.
Like, holy shit.
And then the moment that, like, they're no longer, there's not a doctor-patient
immediately,
relationship.
want to get a coffee? This is like the second movie that's happened with our favorite movie, American Ultra, where like the psychiatrist falls in love with a patient,
client,
and like that happen. Why, like, what rationale does she have to want to like Leo if he's obviously not okay?
She
in the
likes
head?
them crazy men.
Yeah, or I think it's if she wasn't dating Matt Damon at that point, who was very obviously not providing her a lot of, not even just
affection.
Sexually,
but just like love.
Yeah, like just certain things, like when she brought over her fucking like family photos.
So get that shit out of here.
We can't have this in the living room. What do you mean?
I like that novel.
And at first I thought that was him trying to protect her because I was like, oh well, if Jack Nicholson comes by, you know.
No, he's just a dick.
No, he's just a dick.
Yeah, he is a dick. Because then I also remembered, wait, Jack Nicholson would never come to Matt Damon's house.
No, he wouldn't even do it personally.
And then Leo finds a picture of her as a child. He's like,
it's the same picture.
Yeah, it's exact same picture.
Up in front.
And he moves it. He moves it up a level, and he's like, that's a good picture.
Yeah.
And then she's like, I'm gonna fuck you tonight.
Well, just small little differences like that. Like she's very obviously not in love with him, but she's still with him. With Matt Damon. So like DiCaprio caught her at a vulnerable moment, and he like said the exact right things he needed to. He won the speech check, and he put all charisma. That his like session, the one session he has with her, is like, this is so like sad on her end. Where like this guy would like he brings up like what if I just said I kill myself and I meant it, like you suck. Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, like if we didn't know Leo's character, you would also like, is he gonna like
like if the movie, if he was just like a side character we just saw, you would like, assume that's how
he's
it's gonna
fucked. Because I mean you would believe it because all the shit he's been through, he's like he probably would just kill himself. He's like fuck this shit, I'm just gonna kill myself.
Yeah.
Which is one of his like fucking Jack Nicholson's henchmen does. He's like, instead of just burning, I'm just gonna shoot, like fuck it, and it shoots himself.
French, I think is that
French.
Yeah.
So I think that scene, which is I remembered it differently than what I thought the scene, the Chinese in Chains. I thought that was where he dies. I thought he died earlier in the movie. I didn't know he lived for so long. I just remembered him dying, and I was like, oh, that's fast. I guess I was just it's way later than I remember it. I think that China scene is funny, not the scene itself, the police part of it.
Yeah,
it's so
you didn't set up a camera in the back.
It's so funny, right? Like that works, and I love it's like they keep asking that.
Yeah.
Who set the camera? Where's no camera in the back? He answered like 5 seconds ago like there was no camera. Who set up the camera? The guy who's answering the camera.
You gave me 2 hours, man. Like, what am I supposed to?
It's like he says it twice. He's like 2 hours. Man.
Yeah.
I love. It's funny too because it reminds me of the first time you see Alec Baldwin, where he's like introducing not literally Matt Damon, like his like they're like, oh, you guys are the new SI, whatever the fucking unit. He's like, we're the best of the best, blah blah blah. And then it's like cut to him. You son of a bitch! You didn't put the cameras. Oh, what the fuck? You fucked us. He's like fucking sweating everywhere.
So upset. Alec Baldwin is the perfect guy for this character.
Yes, he's perfect.
But that's not even the scene where I thought that. It's the scene where he's playing golf.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
He has this shit-eating grin that he does.
He's such a like. You would think he's a prick.
Yes.
Because like all his shit he says is like, oh, you're getting married? Good. They either think you're gay or like at least someone can stick up for this guy or whatever. Some shit like that. It's like people usually don't trust other people with immaculate records, but I do because I have an immaculate record. And I'm like, either you're a rat or you're just a like an asshole for just saying shit like that.
100%. Also, is it implied that Matt Damon's immaculate record is just because of his connection to the mob?
I think
pretty sure it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I made it sound like I agree with you. I think he is just like
good.
Like he's great at lying, so he's playing a perfect.
Yeah, but I'm
like,
saying
kiss
like,
ass to get to his position
with his perfect record and like solving all these cases. I mean, we've shown a case that he
like,
perfectly wraps up and solves
like
because of Jack Nicholson.
Him solving the cases are because literally there are scenes where like Jack Nicholson calls him like, okay, the guy we put it on was this guy. Just go tell him you find him. And they were like, what evidence do you have? I just know. He's like, how do you know that? Like that Jack Nicholson's gonna be here? He's like, oh, I talked to the intercommunication. How'd you do that? Don't worry about it. Let's just go do it right now.
I talked to him. We gotta go.
Like, you son of a bitch, we got him. Let's go. And I'm like, wow, you're like you're not gonna quit. Like I would afterwards be like, okay, now we're good.
I would immediately start
so how do you know that though?
Yeah, I would immediately start questioning.
Because you could just ask Leo. Well, like, hey Leo, did you tell Matt Damon?
Yeah.
And they would have been like, oh, I told him like later. And they're like, no, but earlier? He's like, no, I didn't even know. I didn't know he died.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, no one questions him after a while. I guess maybe because like he's just like, why would you? I guess in their eyes, because like I guess like he is a perfect guy. He has been doing what? So they're just like, yeah, he's the guy. Like, he's the guy looking for the rat. Why would he?
He's proved himself already.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing.
I do like the one scene with Mark. I think he only has like 3 scenes with Mark, maybe. Like the first time,
I like it when
the second time he sees him, he just like when he wants to walk into Martin Sheen's office, and he just blocks him like, huh? And he's like, there's only you can't kiss any more ass, buddy. Like you can't fucking like get any higher ups or whatever.
Yeah.
He goes suck a dick. He's like, oh sorry, there's no promotion for that. And I was like, oh my god, Mark, why are you so good at these one-liners, dog?
Mark Wahlberg's character in this movie is like probably the best one.
Yeah. Hey, why she should have won some best supporting actor?
He should have.
This is his best performance. This is the perfect Mark Wahlberg character.
Yeah, and then he went to go do Ted after this.
Probably. Yeah, no, not literally after. It's like 6-7 years after.
He took a hiatus and then came back.
Definitely was a hiatus.
Yeah.
No. I just think he's like just a Boston guy. He's also Boston. For
sure.
And like just say curse words, say one-liners. You know, Marky Mark wouldn't actually. He's not smart. No offense. He wouldn't say that shit, but you would believe he would say those things. So it's perfect for him.
Oh. Marky Mark or Mark Wahlberg?
No, I just call him
Marky Mark would say it.
No, Marky Mark would say anything.
We've been over Marky Mark's history.
I love Martin's also like, don't worry about him. And I was like, nah, he said a lot of fucked up shit, dude.
Yeah.
He just like, I think Marky Mark with Leo.
Yeah.
I think like he obviously shit talks him, and then he's like, so can you do it? And then like fucking Mark, she's like, all right, calm down. So can you do it? Like he has the exact same question Marky Mark just asked, and I'm like, oh, okay, that's how a relationship works or whatever. It reminds me of have you seen Hot Fuzz, right?
Yes, I have seen.
Where like I know they're not in the two cops who's like, you have to go to the small town. They kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah.
They kind of of that. I don't think Alex have seen Hot Fuzz. I pointed at Sam really. We both seen Hot Fuzz.
You should see Hot Fuzz.
The Cornell trilogy in of itself is we should watch the Cornell trilogy probably.
Oh, we should. That'd be awesome.
Get another conversation.
What?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
Anyways, but I think overall, it is a great movie.
Yes.
Fantastic.
There are issues like probably pacing. The ending is like so fast, it's breakneck almost.
There's definitely scenes that don't gotta be there.
Yeah, there's definitely scenes that should not be there and scenes that should be added.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I think acting obviously incredible. The dialogue, all great. Like so many like great like quotable one-liner shit. I can imagine people do quote and I don't even notice. There is a missed potential of a former Martin Scorsese film quote if Matt Damon would have been like, "Did you fuck my wife?" Because technically,
technically
did.
Yeah.
What would you do if he did at the end?
That would have been really funny, actually.
Like that's like the like when he's like has the handcuffs.
Yeah.
Like, he's in the elevator. He's like, "Just kill me, man." Like that. Instead of him saying, "Just kill me," he'd been like, "Did you fuck my wife?" What, dude? Like Leo's been like, "What?" And he's like, did you fuck my wife? Did you fuck? Like look around. Did you fuck her? What? Like, yeah, that would have been perfect because he would have been killed immediately after that.
That would have been.
So he would have been like, "Wait, what?" And he's like, "Nah, you son of a bitch! I wanted to know if he fucked my wife or not."
Oh my god.
I guess he never found out then, right?
No, he didn't.
No, so he doesn't know.
He has no idea.
Well, he's also dead. So
Yeah.
But did you like the ending? That metaphoric ending
with the rat?
The rat?
No.
I think I wish I remembered it. I think Martin Scorsese like it's not literally about there's a rat. It's about the paranoia. Because there's always a rat.
Yeah.
They're always chasing a rat, and you're always paranoid. Which the whole movie just
it's about
paranoia.
Yeah.
In 2 hours and 30. But I just thought the rat scene. I was just like, okay,
Like, I get it. I get it, Martin.
Why is there a rat in his clean ass house?
Yeah.
I just
Fuck
want
those places.
to add real quick. This movie is as long as Inherent Vice. Yeah, I didn't take a nap
Is
during
it?
this.
Right. It doesn't feel that long.
I said the same thing about Inherent Vice. I think Inherent Vice went by quicker for me because this is also the second time I've seen it.
I
so
took a
do-
nap
I do
during that,
remember.
man. It was so boring.
Yeah, man, that was such a slow-paced movie.
I think if you put a gun in my head though, I would say The Departed is better than Inherent Vice.
Oh, it is.
But Inherent Vice is probably like 3 or 4.
I think Inherent Vice is one of those movies that I need to like slowly comb through to really.
Or you just don't like it.
No, I think because like
I think
there
I
was
don't like it.
There's a book. This is a side. You know what? How about we wrap up?
Yeah,
this
that's the
Yeah.
before we go on another tangent. How about that?
We'll
guys?
talk about this off podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
maybe if you pay for our Patreon. No, I was kidding. But yeah, I think all of us recommend it. It's a great movie. There's no reason not to watch this movie.
Yeah.
So let's now that I think all 3 of us are eligible
Yeah.
for a movie. Now I think Sam, you redeemed yourself.
Awesome.
You did.
I did.
Even though
American Ultra was my last movie.
the party, I mean, it wasn't hard to miss on that.
Yeah. I chose a pretty easy one.
I want you. I don't know how your list looks, but like I want you to have a movie that we've never even heard of.
Yeah.
But you have. You're like, this is great. Then we're like, oh my god, this was.
Okay.
So I'm in. I don't know what your list looks like, but I guess. Well, I mean,
I might add. You know what? We'll talk about this more off the pod, but yeah.
but I guess it's Alex's time to spin the wheel for all 3 of us.
Spin the wheel.
Spin that. No, that wasn't a good Boston accent. I can't do it. That's so hard.
It is.
It's another Sam movie.
Hey,
Son of a
double
bitch.
feature.
Let's go 2 for 2, baby.
Oh my god, American
Pie.
I'm gonna keep bringing that up. Like it's
I
fucking-
wanted to be American Pie.
No, I
I
don't.
hope it is.
I always bring this every time I do this. I don't remember anyone's list. I never have no idea what the fuck is spitting for.
Yeah.
It's Sweeney Todd.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, totally
What?
opposite.
I think this
The
is.
fuck is that?
I think this is one that I've seen.
It's the Johnny Depp Tim Burton musical one.
Edward Scissorhands.
No, the other one.
Almost.
Very similar concept, I
Is
guess.
it live action?
Yes.
Oh.
This is the first
Wait.
musical on the podcast.
Oh,
Wait,
is it?
does he have like sharpened teeth in this?
I don't know.
Maybe.
I think he just has weird hair.
There's
He
a
has
movie-
Like,
He has
he's like a white streak
yeah,
in
he
his
has a
hair.
white-
I think I might have seen
streak.
it as Scissorhands then. I've seen a fucking Johnny Depp movie.
Yeah.
Where it's directed by Tim Burton. It's
Yeah.
live action.
I'm,
But I think he has like sharpened teeth.
Is there music?
I don't remember.
and you would remember if there's
Is Christopher
music, so-
Walken in this?
I don't know.
He might have been Edward Scissorhands.
It might be because Edward Scissorhands is not like I think
Why should not be
Sweeney
Tim
Todd is
Burton?
pretty like lighthearted.
Yeah.
You know?
Maybe Tim Burton doesn't make Edward Scissorhands. I'm just thinking it because it's Johnny
Maybe.
Depp.
Edward Scissorhands seems more darker, but maybe I'll put that on the list later.
Please
but-
don't.
Did you
I
put this
don't
because
wanna-
of The Office?
Yes, because of that.
Okay.
Because I've always heard about it,
I've
but I've
never
never
heard of
seen
this
it. But
movie.
there's a scene in The Office where
Yeah.
they sing the opening for Sweeney Todd.
That's why I've seen it.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm not excited. I'm not a musical guy.
Listen,
Let-
this
not
is-
alone a
I
Johnny
love
Depp
musicals.
guy. Nor a Tim Burton guy. So this is gonna
We'll
be.
see, we'll
this is
see.
gonna how. So I don't know how this.
maybe
goes.
this will win you over. But I don't know what's it's on. I don't know if it's on streaming or.
I think it's on
anything.
Hulu
Okay.
and
But,
Netflix. Not in America.
Ouch.
I think those are the 2 things I remembered.
But you guys, as in listeners, should watch it with us because it is also
Now available to own on DVD and video.